Alright guys, hope you're doing well, hope you're all keeping safe and had a good weekend. Sorry if my voice sounds a little bit off. I actually tested positive for the virus, and it just means that I've been a little bit unwell. I'm feeling a lot better recently, although I have lost my taste, which is probably the worst thing because I normally wake up and look forward to having my coffee, but this morning it kind of just tasted like hot, milky water. It's pretty horrible. But aside from that, I'm all good. I did want to get this video out to you guys, so appreciate you guys tuning in. Today we had a maintenance for the Division 2 with the final season rerun End of Watch going live. That means we only have 3 months left before the final season ends in early December, around the time we are expected to get the new content drop as stated by Ubisoft Massive in the Road Ahead article released back in February and a further statement in May of this year. Since then, however, we've heard very little officially, with any speculation on the future content being fueled by comments from developers working on the game. Paul Hofstein, Pali Hofstein and Yannick being two of those people. On top of this, the Division Heartlands was revealed, and then there was the closed beta, which was completed many months ago, back in May I believe, but since then, radio silence. Will this be a repeat of the Nightmare mode we never got, or are we really going to get some meaningful content? Leave your comments down below, and whilst you're there, perhaps leave a like if you enjoy this one. Season 4 End of Watch is live, and this reminded me, we only have a couple of months left before the seasons have all been rerun. Well, not all, as I believe one of the seasons was actually cut short in order for the seasons to end in early December, which I guess can be seen as an indication the content is on track. And for anyone who's watching this video who's not participated in this final season, I won't spoil anything here, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm actually envious of those people who are excited to play Season 4, because it's been 9 months since we had any new content, and with the ongoing silence from Ubisoft and Massive, it's impossible to know if we are even going to get this new content. Now that might sound stupid to some of you guys, because they stated on multiple occasions they are hard at work on the new content. Yannick's come out on Twitter and said the same thing, but if you were playing last year, you've only got to think back to how the Nightmare event landed to see why it's still possible we really don't get anything at all. Let's not forget, the Nightmare event was advertised with a brief trailer and then it dropped, replaced by a vanity event. We haven't even got any of that kind of reveal, so it's definitely possible that all of these promises don't quite make it into the game, and it wouldn't be the first time that we've received promises of stuff for this game that never quite made it. The new content is meant to be releasing in early December, supported by at least 2 articles from Ubisoft. Not that I should know everything about stuff that's coming, but I've heard nothing about a PTS or anything surrounding this new content. And usually, even when there's been quiet spells, I would receive details from various sources off record, usually in my Twitter DMs, about stuff that's coming or stuff that I shouldn't know about. But here I've received absolutely nothing. And I've reached out to sources and everyone is quiet. They don't know anything either. The only other time this has happened was with the Warlords of New York DLC. And that's not me saying that we're going to get some sort of DLC, because I actually don't think we are. But what I am saying is, even with only 3 months left, I don't anticipate any news on the new content until a few weeks before it drops. And I don't think there will be any sort of PTS as seen in previous title updates. Why? Well, I think the new content's going to be paid. I think from a business perspective, Ubisoft know the majority of the community will purchase this new content just by providing details on what you are going to get for paying. Having a PTS may encourage those players who would normally purchase this content to not buy the content. I don't agree with the reasons why they wouldn't have a PTS if these are indeed the reasons, but for selfish reasons, I wouldn't want a PTS so long as there's no bugs. I want to jump in blind and get involved. And being a content creator for this game, especially someone who covers the news more than anything, is very difficult when it comes to new content. I want to give you guys all of the latest information and news and stuff, but I don't actually want to spoil it for myself. It's kind of a catch-22 situation. I've made a ton of videos calling for the devs to start talking and giving us information, and that's absolutely what I want, but I also don't really want to know anything because I want to just enjoy everything they've got on day one. Do you get where I'm stuck? Anyway, it's enough about me. This is more about you guys, and ultimately I know you guys want this stuff. That's why a lot of you guys watch my material, and Ubisoft are not putting out, really holding back. As I said, the Division Heartlands has gone completely dark. Again, I thought I would have heard something about this by now, even off record, but nothing. Nothing since I reported on the leaks many months ago when we had the footage, which I analysed in great detail. I've heard absolutely zero information. Both Heartlands and the Division 2 are meant to be releasing this year. If you look at the timeline that we got from Ubisoft a while back, it may not even be a timeline, it might have just been a nice decorative piece, but a lot of people are looking at it as a timeline, and if that's true, they're meant to be releasing this year. But with only a few months left, it's not looking very likely, unless Ubisoft are going to drop them around the same time. With Heartlands being free, it might work. This might pull in a new audience who have never played the Division franchise, and with the Division 2 content dropping at the same time, they may be inclined to try out the Division 2 if they enjoy the Heartlands experience. It's just a theory, but it's a possibility that they both drop around the same sort of time to encourage new players to try out the Division 2. Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear's most recent video focuses on a similar subject and points out that not only have we not heard anything, but every other Ubisoft game in its portfolio had something to show for at the last Ubi4 event and most recently Gamescom. It is possible we get another Ubi4 event before the end of the year, and it's there we see something. But again, I've seen nothing that would suggest another Ubi4 event is planned, and that's not through lack of trying. There's no doubt it's time for Ubisoft to say something, anything at all. Fortunately, at least by YouTube view metrics, the community who watch Division videos seem to still be engaged. Buzz's most recent video hit 36,000 views. Von Doom's Pestilence build video from just 1 week ago hit 20k views, and even his most recent Cassie Mendoza reset video is doing as well as the same video over a year ago. The views are definitely there. Of course, they're nowhere near where Warlords dropped, but that's a big DLC and stuff. But in terms of how it's been over the last year, I've not seen a decline in views for really any channels. Marco Blades, who puts out a build video every week or two, has been getting the same views for the last year. And that just shows that there is an audience there who are, if you're watching build videos, then you are definitely interested in this game. Because, and I say that because most people who've been playing this for a long time don't really check out build videos all that much, especially if it's PvP related build videos, because no one really goes into PvP. So if those videos are still hitting views that they were years ago or a year ago, then there's absolutely still an audience there. Even my own views haven't really declined that much for about the last year or so. So there's people there. But how long will they stay? How much longer are people going to keep watching Division content? Who knows? If we get to late November and there's still silence, I think we can then start to really worry about the future of this game and the franchise. As of right now, I'm not overly worried. I believe that the silence is because they don't want to come out and say that we're going to get this, that and the other, and kind of give us false hope. I believe what they're saying, although as I've said before, there's no way they don't have stuff which is guaranteed to be in the game at this point. There's no way they're just not there. But I also know that it's up to Ubisoft and not up to Massive. I know that Yannick can't say anything without Ubisoft and the guys at the top saying they can say something. So this is not me saying to Yannick that he needs to say stuff. This is me saying to Ubisoft, please guys, come on, just give us the smallest bit of bread. Please. But that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Until the next one, epic out.